morning, everybody. Welcome to another week of the Dice Tower. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Wendy Yee.
I'm Chris Yee.
It is a new day, a new dawn. It is almost June. And with June comes lots of upcoming things. We have...
humidity, rain, potentially hurricanes.
I don't care about any of that stuff. Rain is good. Humidity is amazing. And when you've been out...
It was hot this morning.
I've been to where it's been dry. No, it's amazing.
Oh, it was hot this morning.
Marvelous.
I hear a little bit about hurricanes. I'm not terrified, but I care.
Yeah, but until I hear about one, you got to shove it in the back of your mind.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, it's great. And also, wasn't that... Well, I was out at like 6 and 7. It was beautiful outside this morning.
Oh.
Wonderful, wonderful morning. Also, let's see. I'm going to a convention in Brazil next week. I am... what else is happening in June? I don't think there's a whole lot happening in June. I mean, there's lots and lots of videos from Dice Tower. But as soon as June ends, July starts, and Dice Tower East begins. So
That's
there's
what
that.
we're doing in June. We're prepping for Dice Tower East the entire time.
That is correct.
Absolutely.
And then July is the month of Dice Tower East, Summer Spectacular, and I was prepping for Gen Con. And then Gen Con.
Is
Then
it
we all
August?
breathe. But then
Yeah.
Dice Tower Retreat, yeah. This is the last moment. June is the last time we can breathe. Anyhow, we got a lot of different things coming from the Dice Tower this week. In an hour, Z will be doing What's Happening at noon. Camilla will be doing a Q&A, and at 3 o'clock, sorry. Is it 3 o'clock? Yeah, 3 o'clock.
3.
I'm doing At the Table with Eric, Summer, and Kurt Covert from Smirk and Dagger or Smirk and Laughter, your choice. So that's stuff that's coming. We have lots of different reviews coming this week. We're going to do a big voting thing on Thursday where you will be able to come in and vote on the best of the worst games. So I picked a whole bunch of the worst ranked games on Board Game Geek. Which of those is the best? Is it Monopoly? Is it Candyland? Is it
I was
Life?
going to wonder. I was like, are these games people have probably played?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay.
So anyhow, that's what's coming later this week. And then lots of reviews, and the top 100s are continuing. You already saw Eric's with piano playing being posted yesterday, and then the rest of them will continue on throughout this week. So lots of different things going on. We are also running a big contest. We're starting a contest today. This one we're running ourselves. This is for Geek Pride Day, where you are proud to be a geek, and what do geeks like more than Star Wars? So we're giving out 3 copies of Star Wars, the deck building game, and one of our t-shirts. You can see a picture of both here. All you have to do to enter this contest is a little bit different. Don't email us. All you have to do is subscribe to our newsletter before midnight on June 5th. And so the newsletter sign-up link is in the description of this video. This is Dice Tower Digest. It's something we send out on a bi-weekly basis just to let you know what's going on at the Dice Tower. And you need to submit a form with your email address and the name of your favorite Star Wars character, which I used to say was obviously Chewbacca, but now there's Grogu, and what's the little dude called?
Oh, Babu Freak?
Babu Freak.
Yeah, that's true.
Babu Freak is weird.
And then there's always
cute.
those guys who are like
Not
Han
cute,
Solo,
cute.
and they lean back against the wall, and we just all roll our eyes.
Yondu. Yondu's great.
I love Yondu.
Yeah. Probably go with that.
Anyway, so good luck to you all. I hope you do well and win this contest. So we got 3 prizes, and it's worldwide, so this is open to everyone. Win a game, a t-shirt, all you got to do is join our newsletter. You should join our newsletter anyway. You should also join our Discord. Lots of different things going on. All right. We got things coming up in this episode. Let's get started.
Hello everyone, it's Stella.
And Tarrant here from Maple University and the Dice Tower.
We have Phil Walker Harding's game here. Super, I can never remember. I always think that lucky is actually lunch. Can you imagine super mega lunch box? Because I like to
Sounds
have
delicious.
a big lunch box, but this is super mega lucky box. So this is roll and write game. No, flip and write game by Phil Walker Harding. This is not a new game, but we just played it recently.
Yes.
This is purely flip and write, and this is quite an entry level. I mean, most of Phil Walker Harding's entry level games, but this is in particular is quite great. It's great for family in its language independent.
Indeed. In Phil Walker Harding's typical style, it is a very entry level version of something
Flipping
you've
right.
seen before. In this case, for me, it's really the entry-level Guns Shown Clever
Yeah.
because it is
Yes, it's a.
it is a themeless flip and write. Essentially, you are marking off numbers and trying to fulfill, in this case, grids. And as you complete certain things, it will give you immediate bonuses that you place elsewhere. So it's got a very Guns Shown Clever feel about it.
Have you played it? Let us know what you think of it. I mean, my mission is to play every single, well, almost every single Phil Walker Harding games, including Baron Park, the one that we haven't played. So also let us know what you think of Baron Park. That's it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Right.
Hello, and welcome back to Retro Board Game Corner. Here I have Knight Rider Kit Challenge the Card Game, published in 1982 by LGN. As a side note, I already did Knight Rider the board game in a previous segment. In this game, you have to build a road, avoid hazards, and get Kit to the end of mission card. Let me set this up and show you how it works. Starting with the first player, everybody's going to flip one card over and consult the number. Highest number is going to win the round and collect the cards from everybody else that will allow that person to do one of four things. Build a road, block a road, jump over a hazard, or drive your kit car. To build a road, you're going to pick one of the cards that you won and just lay it in a horizontal pattern. The only rule is that you cannot block yourself from your roadway. To block a road, you're just going to put a block card on one of your opponent's roadways. The kit card cannot go over a space that's blocked. To get by one of these hazards, you need to play this Turbo Boost card on top of a hazard card that has been played on your roadway. Now Kit can go ahead and move in that card space. If you choose to move Kit, he just moves one space to the next card. After the winner of the round has done one thing, you discard all the cards and start a new round. Be the first player to build a road the required length depending on player count. Play the end of mission card and drive your kit card to the end of mission. If you've done that, you've won the game. Well, there you have it, a quick little 15-minute filler. Well, that's all the time I have for now. If you have a comment below, or you could tweet them at me at RetroBoardGamer. And as always, may your rolls be high.
All right, 20 years ago, a game came out called Coloretto, which was the prequel to a more popular game, Zularetto, which took the mechanisms of Coloretto and built a board game around them. Have you guys played either of these games?
Played Color.
I played it, Coloretto, yeah. But I don't remember it.
Well, that's fine. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
pretty simple mechanism. You are either adding a card to in the middle of the table, you're making groups of three, or you take one. And so it's a little bit of push your luck. Like, do I want to make this thing better? But if I do, Chris will take it. But if I take one now, I might not get more cards. And then some of the cards are chameleons, which are better than the rest, or something like that. And that's it. It's pretty simple. And
Collecting sets, right?
yeah, I like it fine. It's a nice little card game that once I played Zularetto, I was like, well, I don't know that I want to play Coloretto anymore, because it uses the same thing, except it built a board game around it, where you had these little trucks, and you're adding animals to the truck, or you take a truck with those animals and then add animals to your zoo.
And that's right. Once you take a pile of cards, you're out of that round.
That's
though?
correct.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So, I do love that mechanism a lot. It's used in Comic Hunters. It's used in different games. But that's all Coloretto is, right?
Yeah, all Colorettos, you're trying to get sets,
So is there a way to
but only
bust?
3 colors, because you don't want more than 3 colors. Yeah, well, at the end, you can keep drawing
Okay.
cards for your set, but they might not be ones you want.
Okay.
Because you want just 3 colors, and you want as
colors.
many of those colors as you can. A 4th color, 5th color, you start taking those, you start losing points.
That's right.
Okay.
It's definitely worth your while looking at it because it's so simple. I mean, it's ranked 622 on Board Game Geek. I gave it a 7, which I think still holds up pretty well. Just a little card game that's easy to play. But I don't know that I would play it over... Oh, I forgot about these. These cards came in the game, and for the longest time, I had no idea what they were for.
There's like it's a picture of a castle. It looks like a
like a
castle that's
castle
screaming at you.
With a drawbridge down, so it looks like its mouth is open.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
I'm hooked up to the thing. If you want to pop this on the screen, I think I'm on. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
What?
So what are they for?
They're for a different game. It says it down here. This is for, it's a Creepy Castle card, an expansion card for Knights.
See, I don't know if I love
Or-
that whole thing where you get something in a game for a different game.
Especially when the game didn't tell you what it was for.
Fair.
Oh, this guy found the real tower. Okay.
Still terrifying. I love it.
Anyway, I had these cards for the longest time. Like, what are they for?
Weird. Now, you know what? What you said, it's still worth kind of going back to. I enjoy a lot of times these like games that are a single mechanism. I think it's good. It's on Board Game Arena. I know we have a very avid Board Game Arena group of people that watch the channel. So, yeah, no, if you haven't played it on there, it is fun. It's a good, simple one. You might forget it, kind of like Wendy and I have. But once you're refreshed, you're like, yeah, that's right. That's the whole game. It's good.
Yeah, well, there you go. 20 years ago, Colorado.
Hey there everyone, it's Jen the Board Game Librarian, flipping some pages and pushing some cubes in my segment from the page to the table where I pair books and board games together. This week we are taking a look at The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. This book has two storylines, one in modern day London where our main character is on a little adventure out by the Thames and comes across an apothecary's jar, and she notices a symbol on it. And she's a very curious person and wants to figure out what's going on with this jar. Where did it come from? Who did it belong to? Well, it belongs to our historic timeline and the other storyline there. And she's got a very unique thing that she does in her apothecary business. Most of her business is helping women divest themselves of men in their lives. Now, asking you shall receive. Last year on one of my, I think it was a Summer Spectacular book video, I said, what game would I like to have a book made into it? And well, I mean, this is kind of Quacks at Quedlinburg. Of sorts-ish. I'm reaching a little, but it's okay. 2 to 4 players, ages 10 and up, 45 minutes. Now, I'm going to let you in on a little secret about Quacks. Most of you know about Quacks. This is the only game I cheat in. Go ahead, judge me. It's okay. It's fine. It's a known entity in this house that I cheat. So my husband, we roll with it. And I don't cheat all the time. But this wonderful bag building game of different potions that you are trying to put in and not bust in your little pot there. Probably like our main character had to do to get just right for her clients. So that is all for this week, friends. Happy breakfast.
Hey, I'm Jordan. This is Songbirds from Daily Magic Games. This is a little tiny card game, less than 20 minutes, kind of a filler game, if you will, if you're into those types of games. And this one has a lot of different versions in it. I think just kind of straight, no modules kind of stuff works probably the best for that kind of filler mentality if you're looking at this game that way. And this is a game that has 4 suits of cards. They're going to have different birds on them, and you are playing these cards into a grid on the table. Whenever a row and column is filled with birds, you're going to see which colors of each bird was played. You're going to add up those numbers, and then that token at the end of the row is going to go up to a scoring card. Whatever card you have at the end of the game that's left, say I have a red card left at the end of the game, I'm going to only score points for the red bird. So however many points the red bird has sitting on them at the scoring at the end of the game is how many points I would get plus the number on my card. So you usually are trying to save the higher number card, I suppose. My daughter loves this game. She wants to play this all the time. I don't know if I get the strategy. It feels very limiting in what I'm able to do because it feels like I never have the right numbers. I might just be bad at it because I have lost every game I've played of this, and my daughter has won, so she seems to get it. So maybe the better player is winning. I think this one is neat in theory, but I'm not totally sure I get it. in how the strategy is coming together, because it never feels like I have I never have enough cards in my hand to feel like I have enough control on what I'm doing. So maybe this works better with kids that are kind of cool with some of that chaos that comes with some of that and the lack of control. But yeah, I think this one's fine. I'm just not sure about it. Is that a review? I don't know.
Just as a heads up, one of these days, the random game is going to be probably a game I'll be like, oh, and I'll click random game again.
I mean, you even did that.
Well,
I mean,
boring.
Well, yeah.
If it was boring, yeah. There's no guarantee that they will always be
Family friendly. Well, it's like a
Yeah.
1 out of 1,000
Yeah.
chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes we won't say the name of the game.
Yeah, how about that? All right, here we go. Ready?
All right.
And
Armed.
And
you press them. I'm not doing it.
All right.
3, 2, 1,
go.
Colorado.
Colorado.
Malifaux Bishop. Oh, this is just a
Single character.
it's an expansion for Malifaux. Boring. All right. Doing it again.
Reset.
Yeah. See, it needs to be random game and like take expansion out of the mix, but
Yeah. Are you not,
you're not doing it again?
What?
You gave up?
We're
You're
doing it
back
again.
on your phone? All right.
I want to be able to see the game.
millennials? Am I right?
I'm so
Yeah, I
mad,
know.
3,
right?
2, 1. Blast off.
It's another
Cordella,
expansion. I'm not
French
doing expansions.
edition.
I'm just not
Can
doing
you-
expansions.
I was like, can you filter that?
You can. It just has random game here. Go. It's another expansion. There are a lot of
How many
expansions.
expansions?
I'm just clicking a button. I don't have time to wait for
Go.
y'all. There we go. Oh, this is great. Big Nate's Detention Dash.
Ooh.
Big Nate. What
He is much
this?
bigger than the other two children. He is a giant among men.
This looks like a kid's
He's
book.
also really, really non-symmetrical. It's bothering me.
He's got the Peppa Pig eyes thing going on.
Oh, I hate that Peppa
Oh,
Pig eyes thing. I hate
yeah.
Peppa Pig also.
Daddy, may I have an apple?
Oh my goodness.
Based on the best-selling Big Nate's books, he looks better here. Oh, I guess his smile just slides to the side of his face. All right.
Those
Join middle
teachers look
schooler
so
Nate
good.
and his friends as they run from classroom to classroom collecting detention cards. Along the way, Coach John might surprise you. Wait, we want detention cards?
This sounds like what I was like as a child. Yes, I would like one of every color detention slip. RPC, not for me. That's
Are we just
That's a
like
pay
utter
grade
chaos
above my
kids?
level.
Is that our goal?
Yeah, no, you have to get detention cards. Like, you want to be caught in the hall when the bell rings or being caught by good student Arter. Because Arter's supposed to be a
Oh,
jerk.
is he the hall
Arter's a
monitor?
How
Nerd.
dare you follow the
Hall
rules?
monitor.
That's a good thing to teach kids.
Right?
You must draw and play an action card each turn, like extra moves, moving another player, discarding or taking extra detention cards. Others are Coach John All Play cards, which require all players to complete a physical challenge, such as making and flying a paper airplane.
yes. Yes.
Ooh, PE's fun.
Just tell me what else do we need? We need a bell to ring, right? A bell to ring to race for. Take that cards.
Well, there is take that for sure. First player to get all 6 report cards discards 2 detention cards, and then total detention and fail report cards are counted. Pass report cards are subtracted. Wait, you're trying to fail and get detention?
You know how
Is that
Trying to be the worst student
Is
ever.
that what the book series is?
you know
like-
you Mike and Z talk a lot of times about how TV shows, movies never get school right. I'm glad someone finally has with Big Nate.
Man.
I'm reading the wiki on it right now.
Homeroom. He sleeps in math. Like, they look like they're,
I think this is
it's
an
weird.
I think this is an opportunity to get all of your like angst out as a kid that you're like, I wish that I could just be terrible.
What? I like that. Detention report. Reason for detention. Just a frowny face.
Frowny face. You suck.
No reason
Your
at all.
kid sucks.
Like, Mom, why'd I get it? Teachers was in a bad mood.
Wow, this Wikipedia synopsis does not sound very good. Big Nate follows the adventures of Nate Wright, an incompetent, spirited, and rebellious 6th grader. He occasionally gets in trouble at school. Nate hates social studies teacher Mrs. Godfrey, whom he considers his nemesis and calls her names like the school's Godzilla. He has a love-hate relationship with Arthur, a foreign exchange student.
This sounds
That's the hall monitor?
amazingly bad.
This sounds terrible.
Hey kids, you should hate the foreign exchange student.
Did you guys ever have weird nicknames for your teachers? I didn't have a Godzilla.
That you would be willing to say live, Thomas.
No, to that part. Yes, I said mean things about my teachers. That was wrong.
I had a science teacher in 6th grade that was so fed up with our class, she went and talked to the door about how terrible we were. Like she just like walked over to the door and was like, I will now talk to this door because it's what are better behaved than the class? I don't know. It was strange.
That's a way to command respect from your students.
Yes.
Works for me. All right. Well, I'm rating this a 4.
That's
Because
a
I
high
haven't played it.
score.
Yeah, I know. I haven't played it, so maybe it's...
Maybe it's a 3. It really could try.
Well, it has 1 rating. What do you think the rating is?
Ooh, 2.5.
I mean,
It's a 2. You're close.
It says 2 up there.
As with
I
school,
couldn't
Jim
do.
is the annoying part. It's a kid's game. All right. Well, only one person has played it back in 2015. All right. Well, that's your random game today. Big Nate's Detention Dash.
This is a segment where we take a look at a board game based on an IP. I tell you if the IP and the mechanisms match. Today we're looking at Thunder Road Hot Wheels Edition. On your turn, you're going to roll the 2 6-sided dice, and you can move each of your cars 1 spot. So I could use like the 3 here, 1, 2, 3, and then the other one can move 1 space or vice versa. So each die will move 1 of your cars. You can't share space with somebody, and you can't go through them. Once per turn, you can put a sandstorm out, and it will block the other people. The way to win the game is very easy. If you're able to get to the 3rd board, so there'll be a 3rd board here, and you come off the end of it, then the backboard will be taken off, the other boards will be moved down, and anything on that backboard will be eliminated from the game. All of those people lose. If both of your cars are eliminated, you're out of the game, and you want to be the last car standing. So that's kind of how that's going to work. Normally, I wouldn't take a look at a game that just slaps Hot Wheels on it, or Monopoly does something like that, and it's just the core game. But this one is interesting enough to talk about because they do take what was an off-brand Mad Max and throw Hot Wheels on it. And by doing so, they get rid of the helicopters, and they get rid of all of the combat, and turn it into just a racing game with subpar components. So Thunder Road was a game that was like Mad Max, where you're shooting and helicopters were coming down, you were rolling dice to see if you hit people, and there was a lot of excitement in that kind of street combat with cars. All of that has been eliminated into just a racing game. You can throw wind at people or a sandstorm if you want to, but it has lost the flavor of that Mad Max. It has lost the world of Thunder Road. So the Hot Wheels thing really doesn't work in what, remember, the original game is be. As for a Hot Wheel racing game, I suppose it works well enough. There's just a lot better racing games out there. It doesn't do anything for the Thunder Road. So whether you're looking at the Hot Wheels as being the IP, or maybe you're looking at Thunder Road as being the IP, neither of them is worth it in this game, and neither of them works or match with what you're doing in this game. Awful experience, awful game, and we'll be waiting patiently for the Restoration Games version of Thunder Road.
Happy breakfast, everyone. This week I'm going to talk to you about Dune Imperium, and while I'm going to caveat this by saying I enjoyed the game, it does have, to me, a couple of flaws. That first play, you do feel out of your depth for at least the first half of it. And in a game where it's pretty much a race to 10 points, if at any point in that you're still struggling to work out what's going on, you're going to fall behind. So I really wouldn't advise playing Dune Imperium if you're brand new to the game with others that have played multiple times. At least if you want to at least come close to winning. And I think that's because of the layers of things going on. You've got the worker placement that's driven by the cards in your hand of where you can and can't go. They've got special actions that trigger when you're placing someone, or maybe something else if you're revealing them. And there's a number of different things which I really like, but it really does take that first game, maybe even more than that, to really understand them. I don't mind a game that does this too much, but it does feel like new players just have a significant disadvantage. It's trying to work out what you can do and not how to do what you can do like in the best way. And that's when I think games work really well, when it's like, it's obvious what I can do, but what's best. In Dune Imperium, I found in my first play, it wasn't always obvious to me. But it's still a fantastic game and I'm itching to get it back to the table. But maybe just balance down some of the hype you've heard about it. Anyway, what do you think of Dune Imperium? Let us know in the comments section below and enjoy the rest of your breakfast.
Best of the Shelf is getting trickier because we are getting the shelves ready for Dice Tower East.
That's true.
So
You should probably record like the next 7.
I probably should. Alrighty, well, let's take a look at this week's. Okay, we're taking a look at shelf 20 here now, 20B, on my, what I call my intellectual property rack here. This is a lot of villainous here. We have one Marvel villainous, and we have one Star Wars, and the rest is Disney. That's probably too much villainous. I don't know if it gets played as much in the library. I like having, though, if people want to mess with the different villains and play against each other. Then we have another Disney game, The Haunted Mansion. That's a pretty nice little light game. Now we have a bunch of X-Men and Marvel United. So there are 4 different games here. They're all standalone, so you can pull them out and play with them. So if you're looking for different characters, we put different characters in each one, where you don't want people to mix them, because then it's hard to remember what's lost and have you. And everything's painted, too, which is kind of cool. Fast and Furious here. I guess until the recent Thunder Road came out, this was the game to play for insanity on the highway. Honey Buzz from Elf Creek Games. Really, really great components. Shelfie Stacker. A game about getting all your games on the shelf. Very meta. Cosmic Encounter Duel, which I don't like as much as Cosmic Encounter, but some people like it. And then Plague Inc., which is a pretty good game about you being a plague and destroying the world. And for some reason, in the last few years, people don't want to play this as much. So there you go. That's shelf 20B.
That's a lot of villainous and a lot of Marvel United.
It's basically like 2 games at all on that shelf. I don't know.
Well, there's some extra stuff there. I mean, I bet Z's favorite game in there is Honey Buzz, probably.
You know, that's one that I've been meaning to try. It's
Actually, it might
got
be
very
Marvel
cute
United.
pieces.
Mine's Marvel United. Like, it's not even close. It's my favorite game there by a mile.
Mine's also Marvel United, but that's because of selection and less on like... I don't think Marvel United is as amazing.
I thought you liked Fast
as you
and
do.
Furious.
Yeah, so that's the thing, is
Yeah.
like, you say by a mile, and strangely for me, not by a mile.
Yeah. I enjoy Marvel United, but I feel like it's a kid's game. I don't feel like it's like a game that I'm going to come to time
Be more
and time and time
demeaning
again.
towards us. Wow. Wow.
It's something I play with my daughter. I don't pull it out for myself, ever.
It's...
Okay, but I do. It's not a kid's game. It's family game at best, and
you're also playing video games all the time, like Zelda.
Yeah, you are a child.
It's a kid's game.
I don't know what one he's getting
No,
at,
I
actually.
don't know.
That's really confusing.
I'm saying that I'm playing that too. That's all.
No, I enjoy Marvel United. I put it in the same camp as About Forbidden Island, right? Like in terms of, I'm looking for a fun, light, approachable, cooperative game.
See, I disagree. I think that you can do that, but with all the extra stuff, you can also make it fairly complex. Some of those villains get very involved and detailed, and some of the heroes do too, and Sinister Six and the Sentinels, it kind of ups the level a lot. That's why I like it so much.
The Sinister Six is my favorite mode. That is very good. But we're still able to play it with our daughter, but yeah, we did have to run more.
Yeah, I think the thing is for me is I feel like all the characters, they are slightly different, but they're not enough different for how many there are.
Get on your pedestal. Do it, Tom. Do it!
Fine. Fine. Hey, I'll tell you this, folks. Well, they heard you. That's why they added 4 mutation cards, and then they added equipment cards. So they are quite different now.
Yeah.
Villainous, on the other hand, I think that's the most villainous you'll ever see in a Dice Star library. It's only going to go down. I don't think it gets played enough. We'll see.
I don't think so.
I've stopped adding new ones.
We've got a lot of combined boxes, so it's a lot more villainous than it even looks.
You're right. That's all the Marvel villainous, I think.
Oh, got it.
Because it's in all those boxes. I only got the regular Marvel. I didn't add any expansions, and I had several expansions already. And Star Wars, I don't think Star Wars will have expansions.
I don't think that one gets played either. Even people who are big Villainous fans say that one's it's almost like a step too far.
Because we had that at the Hot Games table last year, and I don't think it got played much at the
It got
Hot
played
Games
a
table.
decent amount, but again, it has the word Star Wars on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fast and Furious is my second pick on that shelf, though. That is a surprisingly good game. It has a lot of overhead, but it's surprisingly good. But it does still, I think, lose out to Marvel United.
It's goofy, dumb fun. Yeah. So I concur with Chris. Same scores, same rating, same everything.
There you go.
We're the same person.
Hello, Proti here, your remaining content creator, and today I will continue my series where I will talk about a specific part of a game, and today we will talk about something from Forbidden Island. Forbidden Island is a cooperative game, is similar like Pandemic, but it's a bit lighter. You here are traveling on the island and trying to gather cards so that you can gather the treasures and fly away from the island, from the heliport with all the participants before the island is flooding or is sinking. Of course, if some specific tiles are getting underwater and you were not able to get the treasure from there or the heliport, then you lose. But the main idea is to move, to try to keep the island over water until you gather all the treasures and then fly away. Here, exactly like a cooperative game in the style of Pandemic, every player is making some actions, and after those actions you draw some cards which are sinking or flooding different tiles in the game. And of course, if you're talking about a cooperative game in that system, you have some special powers. Every person has some special abilities, and this is what I wanted to talk about today. One specific one, the messenger. The messenger has a really nice ability. Usually, if you are on the same tile, you can exchange cards, but the messenger on his turn can, as an action, give a card to a player wherever the player on the map is. And this is quite interesting because you are trying to get a 4 of a kind, if I'm recalling correctly, 4 of a kind, so that you can get to the place where the treasure is and get the treasure as a player, and the player that has those 4 has to go there. And so with the messenger, you can gather different cards and then just give it to the right persons before their turn comes, or on your turn as a messenger, so that everybody is ready to get treasures. So it's an interesting ability that I really like to have it in the team when playing Forbidden Island, so that you can distribute cards easily. So this is what I wanted to discuss about in Forbidden Island. Have a nice break.
All right, so I got an email from Jeff's Famous Jerky, and he wanted to know if we'd review his stuff. Yes, gladly.
Always send us food,
If you are a food person who wants to review it.
Is this snack talk?
Sort of.
Snack talk.
We're gonna spread this out because he sent us a whole box worth of stuff. So let's.
Okay, so we've got these 3 here that are gluten-free. They don't have wheat and the soy sauce in them, so we'll try.
All right.
We'll try those. 'Cause
So I have hatch green chili pepper.
Ooh.
I have brisket beef jerky teriyaki flavor.
And I have sweet and smoking barbecue.
Jeff's Famous.
See, I'm gonna eat the spiciest one last.
All right, yeah, we'll pass it along.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get a
That's
reasonable
pretty
sized
good.
piece. Oh,
Green chili's good. It's a little soft. Oh,
Did it kick in?
there are moments. They're like just isolated moments.
The sweet and smoking barbecue is sweet, not a lot of smoke, and honestly, not a lot of salt. You know, beef jerky is usually pretty
I
salty.
agree. There's not a lot of salt.
Not a
in
lot of
these.
salt.
Okay, so this one's
Yeah.
good. This one is spicier than you might think.
Okay, I like
Is this,
that.
is this spicier?
This had a tiny bit of, just a teeny tiny bit of
I
spice
like the
at the very
brisket.
end.
it's teriyaki. Very sweet. Very tender, though. Like
Oh, I
it's
ate the
a-
hottest one first. All right.
You did.
Oh, this one's good.
It's
Ooh, I like this one.
superbly good. It's quite sweet. I'm still working on it.
That green chili is
I've never
really
had brisket
unique.
beef jerky before.
What's the difference?
The cut of meat. Brisket is notoriously a finicky meat, which is why it has to be prepared a very specific way.
Okay.
So I was concerned going into it, but it tastes very good.
Wow,
right.
I really like this one.
This
All right.
green chili is really tasty.
I agree. This
Because
one's
the barbecue one does not have any of that like sauciness to it.
Mm-hmm.
The green
So maybe
chili
this
one's a
one
little
laugh?
bit more moist and saucy.
Yeah, the teriyaki is ridiculously glazed feeling. It has that glaze to it.
All right, this one's good, but it's my least favorite of the three. But that's not a bad thing.
Hatch green chili.
That's interesting. Yeah, the teriyaki is very like jerky filling and tasting.
Roy's hoping we don't eat all of it.
I think that green chili is my favorite.
Don't worry, Roy. There's plenty left.
Here,
Right.
Here
Chris,
is
pass that one over. I want another bite of that.
Yeah.
black pepper and
This
sea
wins
salt.
for me.
The Hatch green, the Hatch green chili is good. Yeah, it has a little bit of spice. It kind of lingers. It tickles the back of your throat a little bit. So yeah, you can see, yeah, if you're not careful and try to talk while having a fresh bite, yeah, you could start,
While inhaling that.
coughing up.
Okay, that one's
Black pepper,
okay.
sea
That
salt.
one's number 4 so far on the list.
You know, this green chili one almost reminds me
This
of
is
like a
habanero
spicy
heat wave.
Chinese
Let's see
food.
if I regret this one
It's like sweet,
greatly.
tangy.
What's that, Wendy?
This reminds me, the green chili one reminds me a little bit of like a spicy Chinese food. We've got that like sweet, a little bit of vinegar, but very little. And then the spicy, like the super intense spicy.
I don't know what a heat wave is. This
Coming
isn't
at the
that
end.
hot.
Coming at the end. Just wait.
That one's hotter. The green
This
chili
one's
one.
hotter.
Interesting. The black pepper sea salt is good. I think if you had handed this to me first, I might have said, wow, this is really great. After trying like the teriyaki, after trying the Hatch green chili, I'm like, oh, this is very basic, very straightforward. I like it, but it's. I just had like a bunch of festivals. I don't want to go to like a subdued
I think the thing is,
out.
I think if I had the teriyaki first, I would have really enjoyed it. And I'm glad I had the sweet and smoke and barbecue first because
All right, the teriyaki is the second best. The Hatch green chili is the best.
Yeah, I like
Last
this
one for today is classic bourbon whiskey. Let me see if it tastes like the whiskey I drink every Saturday night.
moment of truth.
I might not like bourbon whiskey. I don't like that flavor at all, actually.
All right. Regarding the habanero heat wave,
Is this what being drunk feels like?
yeah, exactly like this. Yeah.
Got it.
This is the moment. Feels like terrible taste
Huh.
buds.
Mate,
I don't like, that's my least favorite by far. But that
Interesting.
might just because I don't like that flavor. I actually have never drunk whiskey, if you're watching, so I would not know. All right, they're all good. This is the only one I don't like. The consistency is good.
I think
all of them.
texture-wise, I enjoy the cut. They're not too stiff and hard to chew.
Well, so far until we allow that they're open, but they're not going to
Well,
last.
you know.
Not here in the studio.
this is an odd one, the bourbon whiskey. I'm trying to put my finger on it. Unfortunately, Wendy, Candy, this one does contain wheat.
But she drinks whiskey, so she would know.
Can you drink whiskey? I mean, we don't. but
Most
like,
alcohols have gluten in them. Like a lot of them have gluten in them.
Yeah, okay.
There's a lot of flavors there. I'm going to try this mango, Korean, orange appeal, jerky gone wild. They got python. Would you eat python jerky?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Would it eat me back? Possibly, but I would eat it
I had
first.
alligator jerky once.
They
When I
got
was
red
a kid.
wine and garlic salami. All right, well, there's more in here. We'll take a look at this one in the future. But so far, just famous beef jerky. Thumbs up for me, except for the whiskey one. But you might like that one. Chris, did you eat another piece of it?
I did. I'm trying to figure out. It had like a.
Like, I need to keep testing.
I can't put my finger on what the flavor is. It does kind of taste like.
Can I smell it?
A barrel a little bit. I get what they're
Potato
going
Stew
for.
said, I love beef jerky. Wish my teeth did. These are not bad on the teeth, actually, at all.
They're all very fresh. You can tell that they're
Interesting.
they're chewable.
I
The
get that.
texture's
There is that beef
fantastic.
jerky where you eat it and you're like, ah. This is not that way.
Yeah,
These
this is
are
not.
very, very soft and tender.
Yeah, no, a big fan of these. Two
All right.
thumbs up for me.
Let's keep moving.
Ali, I need help with the kid.
In a minute! Shh. The bed lady's not gonna hurt you. Shh, I'm here. I'm here. Shh, don't worry. Tack Pax Premier 2nd Edition. It's an amazing jewel that we highly recommend for 2 players. It's a tableau builder based on purchase of cards that players use to interact with a map, to exploit their influence by deploying their pieces, and to interact with pieces belonging to different coalitions, the British, the Russians, and the Afghans. The game is all about making the right choice on who to support at the right time, and players will be able to switch their support from one coalition to another one while watching their opponent's moves. Amazing. Molly, how do you win Pax Premier 2nd Edition?
Yeah. 1, build a good engine with the cards that you purchase. Get a variety of actions that will allow you to switch strategies when you need to.
Yeah. Tax, move, attack.
And number 2, pay attention to those cards that come out that allow you to switch coalitions for you and the other players.
It's all about timing. Check it out. Pax Premier 2nd Edition. Amazing. Who you support? British, Russians, Afghans? Sorry.
All right, folks. Well, that's it.
That was an interesting way to go out on that segment.
Smash some stuff, and I need to drink some water here. All right, so in 20 minutes, Z will be doing What's Happening. At noon, Camille will be doing a live Q&A, and then I'll be doing What's Happening with Eric at 3. So lots of live things. Plenty of stuff going up today. Check it all out. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Wendy Yee.
I'm Chris Yee.
Have fun eating beef jerky.